Hello everyone, it's Connie here from the Daily Life of Creativity, and today I am sharing a quick mini album that I wanted to create, and I love it's gonna be simple, nothing hard. You can recreate this one yourself. I It's all about birthday month, the birthday celebrating birthdays, the month of June, and it is so funny because this month is also my birthday. Saturday, it's going to be my birthday. So I thought that I would create a little mini album for me using the Simple Stories Crafty Babe collection. And I decided to use this collection because it just represents who I am. I like to be crafty and it's my birthday month. So I thought that it was good. So I have the 12 by 12 collection that comes with I think it comes with six papers. I'm not sure. I also have the 12 by 12 sticker sheet. I also got the foam adhesive and a few other little pieces here, like the decorative brads, enamel dots, the bits and bits, big bits, and then the bits and pieces. Okay, and I also have you can find this all over at Cherry on Top, and I will be using some acrylic star confetti, the title Let's Eat Cake. This is also acrylic, and then some little balloons that are acrylic pieces from my shop. Okay, you can find this over at Inner Creativity Shop. That's my Etsy shop, and this is a little set like this. Okay, so I am thinking of using all of this for this mini album, and maybe also using this one here, the beads, to create some fun little dangles on the album. All right, and of course you're gonna need your adhesive, your foam tape, ruler, paper, cutter, and things like that. Well, let's get started. Thank you so much for stopping by. All right, guys, so I am back. For this one, I have decided that I will need you will need two pieces of chipboard for the covers that are 5 by 8. So the album is going to be 5 by 8. I will use my cinch to use to do the spine to keep the pages together. So it's like a wire binding, and that's what I will use here. You guys will see that. And let's start cutting the papers. And then for the papers that are gonna cover the chipboard, I like to leave, I always say 3/4 of an inch all around my album. So this is going to be 6 1/4 to cover the album. And let's do it by 9 1/2. So 9 1/2 in length, and then the width once again is 6 1/4. Okay. And you will need two pieces like this because you have two covers. So since it's colorful, I do like that black and white stripe paper. This one right here with the crafty, I want to use this one. 9 1/2. 6 1/4. Okay. And then I'm not sure. Ooh. Okay, so I want this to be the covers, the outside. It's gonna have the crafty and the stripe pattern going. I know the paper goes this way, but I'm turning it this way. Okay, so that's gonna be pretty. And then I do love a black and white stripe, but I just love the crafty with the scissors and the background is so pretty. Let's wrap those covers and then we'll go from there. And now I am just adding double-sided adhesive. And this is about 3/4 of an inch or half of an inch, I cannot remember, all around the chipboard. Sometimes I also do it in the middle. For this one, I did not do that. Okay, so just covering all the edges with it, cutting it with this cutie hearts washi cutter, and I will try my best to center that in the middle of my papers. Okay, um, just repeating the same step for the second chipboard piece. All right, so now I have added them in the middle. I'll try to for one of them of my papers, and I will go ahead and mirror the corners, trim them at an angle to ensure that I leave the right spacing in between. I use the cover guide tool from We Are Makers. I marked it with a pencil, and now I'm going around cutting those. I'll go ahead and repeat the same step for the other cover, and then I will add some double-sided adhesive. But before I do that, I just wanted to crease my papers a little, so I wanted to press down on the table by doing that. Okay. And this is what it's looking like. I'll go ahead and use the same tape that I used earlier around the chipboard. So now I'm just wrapping this up. This is the last piece of double-sided tape. Pressing that down to ensure that it is adhering to the chipboard. So when you start peeling the backing, it is not coming off. All right. I'm using this little tool to just remove the backing from the tape, and I'm doing the two sides first today. Sometimes I do the tops, sometimes I do the sides, pressing that down into the table, bringing that around. Okay, now with this bone, I'll go ahead and tuck this little corners in to ensure that it's covering the chipboard for when you wrap your paper over. And then creasing the other side. And just pressing that down with that bone and tucking the little corners in already to ensure that those are in. Removing the backing from this double-sided tape. And then I will go ahead and repeat the same process with the other cover, okay? So this should be pretty fast. I know it has taken a little while, but I just wanted to ensure that I show you what I do with the covers, and then so you can build your one. Alright, so now to cover the inside of the covers, I am going to use the same paper for this one since I love the white and black stripes. And that is 5. So I'm going to do it at 4 3/4 so I can leave a border all around. And then 7 3/4. So it should be a border, something like that. All right, and you're gonna need 2 of this. So 4 3/4 and 7 3/4. All right, so the covers are covered. The inside is also covered. Remember that for this one, you will need a paper that is 4 3/4 by 7 3/4. Just leaves a little border all around. It looks nice. And then for the pages inside now, let me see. All right, so for the pages inside the album, I have already cut them. I'm using printed cardstock. This cardstock is from ACOT. I'll go ahead and link it in the description box below. You can find everything once again over at Cherry on Tap. And I'm using colors that are inside the collection, like the pinks and the teals. I will also add a white one, and the pages are 8 by 5. If you want to trim it just a little under 5 and a little under 8, you can do that. But for me, I just left it this way. And right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 pages. And I think I'm going to use all of them so far. All right. And then for the binding, once again, I am using my cinch. If you don't have a cinch, use a punch, the we are makers punch hole to that to create your holes, create two holes, add binder rings or just a regular punch hole if that's what you have and that's what you're working with. Okay. And then when I filled it up and I stuff it up with all the embellishments, the foam adhesive, it's gonna look really nice. All right, so the covers are cover. The inside is also cover. Remember that for this one, you will need a paper that is 4 by 3/4 by 7 and 3/4. Just leaves a little border all around. It looks nice. And then for the pages inside now, let me see. All right, so for the pages inside the album, I have already cut them. I'm using printed cardstock. This cardstock is from ACOT. I'll go ahead and link it in the description box below. You can find everything once again over at Cherry on Tap. And I'm using colors that are inside the collection, like the pinks and the teals. I will also add a white one, and the pages are 8 by 5. If you want to trim it just a little under 5 and a little under 8, you can do that. But for me, I just left it this way. And right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 pages. And I think I'm going to use all of them so far. All right. And then for the binding, once again, I am using my cinch. If you don't have a cinch, use a punch, the We Are Makers punch hole, the one with the cracked dowel. You can use to that to create your holes, create two holes, add binder rings or just a regular punch hole if that's what you have and that's what you're working with. Okay. And then when I filled it up and I stuff it up with all the embellishments, the foam adhesive, it's gonna look really nice. I will add my pages first. My front cover. And this is my back cover. Oh, it's done. Ooh. All right. So this is it right here. This is 5/8. So I set it at 5/8 and I press it down. Okay, now let's fill this baby in. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and decorate these 2 pages right here. For the inside, the paper mats, they're white cardstock, and it is 4.25 by 7 inches. You can add a few little pictures or just a larger one if you want. And then I was thinking of using this Life is Looking Beautiful. I added some foam adhesive right here. Let's see here. Live is looking beautiful. And I added some foam adhesive so you can tug little pictures in there. You don't have to worry about that. Let's see what else I am going to add to that. Sometimes I just like to add little stickers on the edge just to frame. And then you can always complete embellishing after you add your photos. I will go ahead and take some photos, new photos this year on my birthday. Get pretty and get ready and go snap some photos so I can fill this one up. Okay, I'm gonna put strike a pose. I can add the word babe here. Babe. And I'm going to leave it this way, nice and clean and simple. And then when I add my photos, if I want to add more things around, I will go ahead and do that. So we are back with the complete mini album. As you can see here, I added my little string with the happy birthday with the beads. These are the beads right here. They're the beaded bracelet bead jar. These are always great for that. If you don't want to make bracelet, but you can add them to your projects. And I just spelled out happy birthday. I created a little cluster of florals at the top, at the bottom, and I added the title "Let's Go Party, Let's Eat Cake, Happy Birthday" for birthday month. And then inside of the mini album, I need to trim this. I was thinking of adding like a little string of beads here going down, but we will see what I do. Sometimes when I finish my projects, I still go back in and see what I need to add or come back to it the next day just to see. I was running, sorry, back. To see what works. Sometimes we look at a project and the next day we get different ideas. So this is what it's looking like. I created a little packet right here with the big bits. It has foam adhesive, so you can it's a little lifted, so you can tuck little things in there. And then I added a sticker that says "Been there, scrap that," with a little foam heart. And this one right here has a flip up. And this is about 4.5 by 5 inches. Score it half of an inch, and adhere it with liquid glue. And I placed a mat here. I did embellish here with foam adhesive stickers, some cardstock, brads, enamel dots. And this is a 3x4 card from the 12x12 sticker sheet. 12x12's cut apart. Here I added some of the pieces from the bits and pieces. This little cards right here. You can add some journaling, floral. I added a floral cluster here on foam adhesive on top of the paper, and then a little sticker here on the right, on the left. And then here I added Crafty Babe with this 3x4 card, the scissors, and then this opens up like this for you to add multiple photos or just large ones. Okay. This one right here says share your story. Share my story right here. Uh, Thinking about printing some journaling and then adhering it here. And then on the other side here, thinking about adding a photo of me. And then here at the bottom of the tag, you can also add more stuff. Okay, and I just added some twine. And it says fabulous. Another Crafty Babe. You can never go wrong with many of them. And then some cute little eyeglasses that are foam and a photo mat. And then this one I left it empty because I was thinking of printing a photo that is the size of this and then adding embellishments on top of that photo. This one is like a packet also. Nothing is truly sticking down. I love adding foam adhesive to create layers so you don't have a problem with adding things, okay? And this is like a double page spread. And then the same with this one. You guys you guys saw me putting this together very quickly with the cards and nothing too special. You know, you can embellish as how you want. I love to heavy embellish. I love adding a lot of embellishments. But if I have not added my photos, then I keep it simple and clear, and then you can start adding your photos and then embellishing more. Okay. And then for the last page is also empty, and then I also created a pocket right here. This is the 4 by 6 cord apart paper from the 12 by 12 sheet, and then that is it for my project. Okay, make sure to check out the others design team members projects YouTube hub. I will go ahead and link everything down below, and stop at cherry on top and just make your way over to everyone's YouTube hub. I can't wait to be back again for next month. And then thank you so much once again for stopping by. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I love you all. Thank you.